All right, we are in the weekend round of the Silicon Valley 9-hole Cup. Final round. I'm pretty sure it took in my qualifying round. In my odd account, there was a 16 at the top, and there was a couple 14s. And in the 77 account, it was 13s at the top. But my goal is to get a 15 here. So let's go check out hole number 1. Now, I've been dinking around on this. I do this every time this hole comes out, trying to get on a 1. And I've seen people do it. I've done it several times, but it's like trying to get it consistent. I know if I can get over there, I mean, you still got a great shot even if you're in the rough or the sand, if you're over on this side, but you do have a great shot if you just lay it up out in front. So I'm just going to lay it up out in front and just go for it. It's not that I've only taken the shot trying to get on a couple times this week, but I'm just gonna go lay it up. Let's see what we need here. See if we can cut the wind down a little. Be helpful to have a little more side spin on a drive, but we can live with that. And I may have to switch that up to my number 1 bag. We'll see. We'll see which way the wind's blowing and what kind of distances we're getting. Here we roll. Pull out my trusty dusty calculator, aka my phone. All right. You always have that little moment when you're playing a tournament. You got to get past you got to get out there and just start playing. Couple top spin. 2 miles an hour. 2 rings. A little bit of curl. Hitting it perfect. Try and get out there so that I'm in minimum short iron. Left a little teeny yardage, a little bit of yardage on there, but not bad. That'll give me a pretty straight up shot with my Kingfisher at minimum club, and I'm going to play it at 2.2 per ring. Now it seems like we were playing using a little bit of an adjustment here, but I'm just going to play it straight up. I'm close enough, hopefully, if there is a little adjustment that needs to be made, it's not going to affect it that much, so I'm so close. The trick here is, if I hit it perfect, it'll go in the hole. If I don't hit it perfect, it's not going in the hole. Damn it. Let's do the wind first. 1.6. And I am at min club divided by 2.2. It's 0.72 rings. 1 backspin. $7.72 rings. See if we can get lined up. All I need to do is hit this perfect. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Woo! First time I've made the eagle on hole number 1 all week. I've been dicking around trying to get on there instead of just doing the layup shot. In the hole! This particular course, starting it off with an eagle on this hole is huge. We've got 3 to pick up. One of them we have to pick up, hole number 6. So the other 2 are best opportunities. We have a pretty good opportunity on hole number 7, but our best opportunities really come in the first 5 holes. And so we've got to maximize. We need to come out of those first 5 holes with 2 up. And then 6 is critical. And even if you just play out the round, you've already set yourself up. And I know that we can get eagle and albie. We can get eagle on hole number 8 and we can get an albie on hole number 9, but neither one of them are really high percentage holes. So if we're going to get work done, we really need to get it done before we get to those holes. In the hole. All right, let's continue this on and let's get the hole in one here. I haven't got a hole in one this week, so let's get a hole in one on hole number 2. I'm gonna take a grizzly, and I'm gonna take the same ball that I'm using right now, which is a turkey ball. So I'm taking the same exact stuff, and I'm using a +10 on the wind. 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by 1. See if my opponent can get up there. With that many games, I like a Saturn. I played with a Saturn for a long, long time. But when they did redevelop the Grizzly really is the long iron. It's got a lot of tools. The Saturn has a ton of tools. The Saturn, its ball guide is a little wanting, but it is definitely a great utility club. Good distance. Okay, 1.87 rings. .87 rings. There's 1.87. Exactly. Hit it one ring great to the right. I don't think I had enough speed on it to get it up there. It looked like it was going to release up, and with only one, I've been putting a little teeny bit more backspin on there, and with just the one backspin, I thought it might release a little bit. Had a good track, but not enough speed. Arr. What's funny is of all of the holes in Golf Clash, there's some of the newer holes that are absolutely hole-in-one holes, but I've played this hole since the game came out, and I've hit a ton of hole-in-ones on this hole, but it all went downhill. The last time we played this hole in a tournament, me and some friends were out and killing it. And then as the week went on, it went downhill, and ever since then it's been downhill. I got to remember how to play. All right, hole number 3. Okay, we have a great albie shot here. I've been dinking around and flirting with these albies. Let me grab a bag, and then I'm going to go look at the hole just to make sure I got the deal. I'm taking my number 1 bag, and I'm taking a berserker. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. See which way we're going to have to contend with it. So that wind's a favorable wind for us on that deal. Let's go look at hole number 3. All right, I'm doing a max overpower hook, and I'm trying to end myself up here. And even up here, you still got work to do up here. This is no gimme. Now, you can... Normally, I'm out in front. I have been up on the green several times in the past, and I've actually overshot this several times in the past, but normally, if your shot works out, you're right out in front. And there is still some work to get done, but let's see if we can just get out in front. I'm starting off on this transition between the first and the second cut of the rough, and I'm going to be 4 rings out into that. Here we roll. See if we can get her done. We do 4 rings out past the first cut into the second cut. Take the wind out. Now the way the wind's blowing right here, I may be able to use some of that. Okay, there's the first and the second cut. And I want to be 4 rings out into the second cut. I'm going to take the 4-4 out. And then I'm going to put the forward moving wind back in. And I got all of it. Now let's see where it lands here. That'll tell us everything we need to know. That's on track. It might clip the rough coming through there, but that's on track. I still got a ton of work to do. Tons. What's up, puppies? What's up, little Itsy Bitsy and Buster? Are you guys all up today? Go get busy. That's funny. And you're all like, what is he talking about? All right, this shot right here is you'll still be all right from there. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. You'll still be okay. All right, let's see where I'm at. There's max. So I'm about max club. So it's 1.2 per ring. So it's a ring and a little. So it's 1.2 per ring, so 2-4, and then it would be, there's 2-4 and a quarter. Getting it perfect? Get in the hole! Pushed me off just a little. Didn't make... Okay, puppies. You want a treat? Is that the deal? Okay. Come on. Let's go. Go get your mom. Go get her. Come on. All right. Sorry about that. Had to let the puppies out. I was at a buddy's house last night. He's got a dog that weighs about 70 pounds. We were joking because both my dogs together weigh 12. Oh, shit. Close. That spot from where they were at out there in one-on-one play, like normally that's just the area out there. It doesn't really matter where you end up on this hole, whether you just lay it up and you're coming in with the wood, or if you're trying to get around the corner and you've worked yourself into your long iron. It doesn't matter which one of the clubs you're at. You do have a pretty good look and a pretty serious opportunity to make Albie on this hole with any of those clubs. I've been flirting with them all week. I've circled the hole, circled the drain, whipped out, hit it just a little too fast and bounced over the hole. I've had no luck on the par 5s this week, but I'm going to get an Albie today. That's just all there is to it. Hole number 4. All right, let's get the hole in one here. Had one of my viewers, Richard, he sent me a video and had taken the backspin shot on this hole and was able to get the hole in one. Beautiful shot. Beautiful. Switch this up and bring a Saturn. And I'm going to bring a Kingmaker. That's all I need. Now let me look at my notes here. All right. And get my calculator up. All right, I'm ready to roll. I like my chances of getting a hole-in-one on this hole. I'd like this hole doing this particular shot whenever this hole comes into tournaments. I never get to play it this way during one-on-one because I never end up here with a 3-power ball. But I always have fun playing this hole in tournaments. And the wind's working good for us because if we get headwind here, we can definitely have a red line issue. See if my opponent can get it in. On the green. All right, here we go. Here we go. And it is 2.4 divided by 1.9. 1 1/4 rings. Max backspin. No side spin. Get up in that corner. So it's 1 1/4 rings. And there's 1 1/4. I just need to hit it perfect. Oh, hit it great to the right. Arrgh! And there's a little bit of a ridge right here. You can see where it drops down, and this is the ridge. And then it's flat where the cup is. So if you hit it to the right, it ends up rolling off to the right. You can't look at the distance like where you're out on the right and go, wow, that was way off. It will be way off if you hit it anywhere to the right. No perfect for me. What is the deal with my opponents on not making these whole shots? I mean, that's not good. It's no good, man. In the hole. All right. I do not like taking putts like that. Those little putts where you have to come at it from the side in order to keep your ball guide so it's not 5 miles past the cup. All right, hole number 4 in the books. Hole number 5. Okay, right here. This is really the last legitimate chance to get an Alvy here. So where I want to get out into this range out here is in the 290 to 300 range. I don't want to go past 300. And I don't want to be less than 290. It'll hamper the shot coming into the cup, but getting up towards that 300 is the range. So you're not behind the trees. You don't have to contend with it. You're in the perfect, you got a nice straight in shot to the cup. It's a long shot, and you're using topspin to run it out there, but I'm going to stick with the Kingmaker. Let's open up a slot. You ever want to play without an empty slot? We are, whether you like it or you want to admit it, we're farmers. And our thing is we're farming club cards. And so I've never opened up a chest and got every club card that I ever wanted. And it takes a long time to just work on your clubs, and you got to open up lots of chests. So if you're not constantly, if you're playing and you're winning and you don't have empty slots, and that goes back to the whole deal of, well, in order to have empty slots, you got to have gems. And in order to have gems are the hard currency in the game. And you'll have to buy a pack. I'm not telling you to buy a pack, but that's how these games work. All right. Let's put on about 3. I don't need a lot of topspin there. I don't need a lot of curl. 2-2. I'm going to put a little bit of curl on just to bring it back. And hit it. 1 ring grate on the outside, 1 ring grate to the right. And I hit it too far. Now I have enough side spin that I might be able to make that shot work. But that's just a little teeny bit too far. I think I still have the window with the 3 side spin. That's why I brought the Kingmaker instead of the Titan. It helps on the drive. The 3 side spin helps on the drive, and it will help on the second shot, especially if you overhit it like I just did. Let's see what my notes say here. My notes say going to the cup, I'm going to do a 10% wind adjustment. My opponent definitely hit it too far. Not just because they're in the rough, but even if they were in the fairway right there, they still hit it too far. All right. See if we're at least heading towards it. 3.9, 3.9, it's 4.29 rings, 4 1/3. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I have enough speed to get me over that top shelf. Yep. Get some roll out towards the cup. Breezed right past it. This green is so massive, and you can see how it's going uphill as it goes past the cup. So as you're going past the cup, it's starting to slow down because it's going uphill. And when I first started playing, I got on this hole, and this is the hole that I learned how to run topspin with a wedge. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then the ball went in, and I was like, "What?" I've told that story before. I was playing against Tommy's buddy Nicholas, and back then it wasn't, when you were rematching people, there was no limit. You could rematch people all day, forever. As long as you guys stay connected, you could rematch each other. And I lost my entire bankroll. I think I lost like 30 in a row. And at that time, he was a maxed out trophy player. And I had beginning clubs and got waxed, but I learned so much in those losses that if I would have had more cash, I would probably still be playing. And I left there and I went and changed some stuff in my bag, and it was the best experience that I paid for. That's why, especially when I started in, there was a lot of people in the game that bitched about you'd be playing people that were much higher bracketed or trophy count than you. It didn't really bother me because you could learn stuff. You could see what some of the clubs could do as you got up, so you were trying to get those clubs up and you could see what they were doing. So I was excited about it. All right. No luck for me. All right, this next hole is absolutely critical. This is the round right here. So this hole, absolutely positive. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. Whew. That wind sucks for us. And it sucks for us because on this particular hole with a 3 power ball, this pocket that we're trying to get into right here. There is a little bit of room for us to pull back from the red line to set the shot up, but not a lot. And so a 3 power ball, we may not have enough room. I think the wind is blowing kind of like in this direction, so we won't. It could be problematic. So let's see what my options are here. Just in case the wind is really, or I can't work the wind out, I could switch to a power 4 ball from my Kingmaker. But I definitely want a power 4 ball that's got 3 side spin. The side spin is super, super important there. Don't need a 5 power ball. I know I have. This is a 4 power 4 side spin. You could use one of those open balls. I could use a season 23 ball. So I'm going to use one of the season 23 balls. If I can't work the wind out with the Kingmaker, I'm going to immediately switch. And I'm going to take this shot with an extra mile. And what I could do is, we're doing 3.5 backspin. What I could do is take the shot with an APOC, and that will give me just a little teeny bit more. It has enough backspin on it. The ball guide's not really important because you're really only looking at the second bounce and the second bounce in the sand. So it could be an option where but I've been doing max curl, and with the Apocalypse I wouldn't need to do max curl. I'm going to stick with my extra mile for the moment. We'll see how it rolls. Let's open up a chest. Get it rolling. Clear a spot. All right. Okay. This is the round right here. Nothing else matters. Okay, that wind's good for us. Max 3.5 backspin. I'm going to come over to here where I'm just in the sand. Two, and I'm going to do a 10%, so that's 2-4. So there's 2-1 and a little. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can get the bounce. Oh, it cleared the green. That's okay. I'd really like it if it would roll completely off the green, but it's not. That's going to be a bitch putt. That is not going to be a putt that I'm going to like. It won't be too bad. It'll be fairly straight uphill, but you can get into some situations on this hole where you have some really, really wicked putts. And it's been my problem all week, and actually the last couple times we played this hole in a tournament, is I've been super tentative on where that second bounce is. And the second bounce really needs to be in the sand, so that when you put the curl on it and you arc it around and it's hitting this area up here, your second bounce is clipping that fringe and then just bleeding off onto the cup. Where literally it barely has enough speed to get to the green, but as soon as it hits the green, it's so downhill it'll just roll out to the cup. And I've been really tentative about taking it more to the left and starting it off facing the sand. They still got a shot from there, but let's see. I missed it on the outside. Look at that. Oh, that's a killer. Pick up hole number 1. A 14's not going to get it done, but a 14 is you're at least giving yourself an opportunity, but a 13's just not going to get it done. And these last 2 holes, I'm going to go batshit on these last 2 holes. Might as well just go for it. Well, I've been going for it anyways, but it's hard to get in the right spot. I've switched up my shot on hole number 8, and instead of taking the white line and going to the right, I'm actually going to the left. I'm trying to get more aggressive than I do in one-on-one. In one-on-one, I just lay it up out there, but here I'm really trying to get forward. I've been out in the right area as far as club, but I've been in just slightly into the rough and haven't been able to take the optimal shot on the next hole. Yep, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. That's the first time this week I haven't gotten an eagle on this hole, and I am not happy about it. Oh. What a bunch of crap. Well, if you're new to my channel, I've never been a good putter. And if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you're like, he's not really a good putter. I know on that hole that's brutal. All right. Let's do what I know that it's hard to do, and let's finish this off with an eagle albie. And I have eagled and albied both of these holes, but they're just like not high percentage. These aren't the holes that you want to go to and go, hey, I got to get I forgot all about, we got hole number 7. I got a hole-in-one shot right here. I forgot all about this hole. So I have one hole here. I could redeem myself, and I could pick up the hole-in-one on this. So let me get my calculator going. Let's see which way the wind's blowing, because that is going to make a huge... All right. I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment. And I'm going to take a grizzly, and I'm going to take a nav, but I'm going to switch the nav up for the turkey ball. Is that right? No, that's a 1 power ball. What are you doing there, Ricky? It's a 1 power ball, low wind. I know I have a low power ball, 1 wind down here somewhere. That one will work. I think that's the only 1 power one that I have. I think all the rest of these are 2 power, low wind. Yep. All right, there we go. There we have it. That's it. Let's go get the hole-in-one. Get that out of the way. My last chance this week to get a hole-in-one. And I only got one more chance to get an albie. So that means that I'm going to get a hole-in-one on this one. It's the last. I have to get a hole-in-one this week, and this is my last chance. So here we go. My opponent goes first. Now there is a rough bump that you can do from down there if you're not in between clubs. So they either need to push if they want to play it with their sniper, they'd either need to drop down to a marlin so they can pull their red line back, or if they want to shoot it with their long iron, bring I don't even know if a 3 power ball right there would push it forward enough. Maybe. I know that this is a hole that if you blow by that cup, you could be in some serious trouble. Get 1 ring grate on the right. And if you're going to roll past the cup and roll off, that's the side right there. Four backspin, 1 left-hand side spin. I'm going to go right at it. Okay, so it's 1.6. It's 1.92 rings. And there's 1.92. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in. Let's go. I've been right there all week. Of the hole-in-ones, I've been super close on this one. I've like got the hole is so freaking freaked out. I've surrounded it. Arr. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. Here we go. In the hole. Oh, that would have been a nice hole-in-one right there. That would have made me happy. That wouldn't have made up for the missed eagle on hole number 6, but it would have at least made me a little bit happy. Would have showed me I had some skill. Remembered how to play. All right. I'm going to grab my bag first. I'm going to take a kingmaker. Do I want to take a kingmaker or do I want to take a katana? I'm going to take a kingmaker. And I'm going to take my APOC. I'm going to take my number 5 bag. Now, I'm not sure the shot to the cup. I haven't been able to really get myself in the right position to really go for the shot to the cup. So I don't know what it'll look like if I'm with my grizzly trying to take that shot, because I've been in the right spot, but I've been in the rough and not in the fairway. The problem is I'm hitting the shot right, and I keep hitting it great to the right. Every time I've been on this hole, I've hit it great to the right, and it ends up in the rough. Just barely, but in the rough. Let's see if we can hit this one perfect and actually end up in the fairway. Still got a shot from the rough of making it, but it's hard to get the ball to come all the way back to the hole. All right, 2-1. 2-1. It's 1.5 per ring, so it's a ring and a ring and a third. Put some curl on it. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I put the right amount of curl on there. Finally ended up in the fairway. The last chance at it, I'm in the perfect spot. I have to look at the trees in this. There may be able to really pound that ball down there if you did a max overpower hook shot, but I'm sure that there's probably some tree out here that we can't see right now that might be blocking it. We've seen that happen. Holes come out and we figure out some max overpower hook shot, and then they'll make an update on the game and they'll add a tree. I like those Kingmaker X balls. Let's see if my opponent can get it out there where they want it. Very nice. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. Okay, I'm a minimum grizzly. There's just no way. There's just no way. No way, man. There's just no way to get up there with the grizzly. I would have had to bring my Grim Reaper. This is the deal with it, is I'm just going to put it on the green. Just lay it up there, go get my birdie. I haven't been in that spot, so in my mind, I thought I was going to need something with a lot more backspin, but sometimes you can run the ball up to it instead of trying to backspin it in, but either I'm going to have to get farther forward in order to open up this lane so that you can run it in. There was a rough bump there, and I didn't even see it at the time, but now that I'm sitting here looking at it, there was a rough bump, a nice clean rough bump. That's actually probably the shot that I should have taken from there. It's a nice flat, the rough right there is flat. Totally missed that. And I think with the, you probably would have had to put on some left-hand side spin to bring it back around to the cup from where that rough bump was, but that would have been the shot to take, not the just get it up there to get your birdie and go home. All right. See if we can get it in the hole, get our birdie. All right. Now I've put my hopes on the last hole, getting an Albie on the last hole. I think I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 Albies on this hole in the entire time I've been playing it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that all 3 times that I got Albie on hole number 9, it was more luck than it was anything else. It's just one of those types of holes. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. All right. Minus 13 is not going to get it done. Headwind again. Let me think here. And that wind is just not, I'm going to go for it. We'll take my Apocalypse and go for it. And I'm going to take this bag right here because it's got my backspin stuff in it. I'm going to take all backspin stuff except I'm not switching out my Nirvana because the reality is that more than likely, if you're going to fail in the rough, it's going to be in this zone right here. And from here, you can get on with a Nirvana, but if you don't have a Nirvana, you're going to have to lay up and then try and get in, and that is not a shot you want to have to do. But everything else I'm bringing so that if I make it to the other side, I've got a backspin club. All right. I've played this hole 2 times this week. I epic failed. I was in a good spot and I had a great shot in, but I got really aggressive trying to go for the Albie. And actually clipped it right at the top, and it took a straight up in the air bounce and went right into the sand. And then the second time I was here, I was in my rough, using a rough iron, and I just laid it up to get on the green. All right. Let's switch that ball out. Let's go to a berserker. 3 rings off. It's a little over 2 rings. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I made it over, but that's not a good spot. That tree's going to be right in my way. A little bit shorter, a little bit farther. Would have been much better. All right, my Grim Reaper is 1.4 per ring. Now, if I'm in my Grim Reaper range, 1.4 per ring, and if I'm in my Guardian range, it's 1.1. I've been in that spot right there 1,000 times, and you're Nirvana. You got a great shot going in from there. Let's see if I'm in my Guardian, and that freaking tree is like right dead center in my way of doing the dunk. Oh. I'm at Men Club. I'm going to do 2 rings. And I hit it 2 rings great to the right or left. It won't have enough suck back to bring it back to the cup. The shot out there that we're trying to get to is to do a dunk. So if you got 100% backspin club, you can go for the dunk, and if you miss it, it'll go past it, but it'll stay on the green and it won't end up in the sand and the rough. Now you can get in a little bit of trouble because if you hit the flagpole, you have no idea where the hell it's going to go, and you've got to get in the right spot so that you have a clear lane through those trees. So 5 yards forward or 5 yards back, I would have had a much better look at just doing the dunk. Every time we play this hole, I'm going for that shot, and to get out into that area, it's not, it doesn't happen enough. Close. All right, 13's not going to get it done. A 14 might have put me in the top 15 or 10 or so, but 13's that's your minimum score. That's really what we need to get. We need to pick up hole number 6 and get that. And if you can get above that, you're putting yourself in a much, much better spot, in a better group. But failing on the one hole we have to get is not good. No bueno. What is it? What is the deal with my opponents missing these freaking... That's 3 of my opponents today that have missed these little easy layups. All right, I think if this is a top 30, I'll be surprised. Maybe top 25. Wow, I can't believe how crappy. So 14 right there. I mean, and looking at the coming in with a 12. What did I have coming in on the opening and the qualification at a 13? So what they have, 12, 11. Did one of them get an Albie? Yeah, they had an Albie. That would have superseded my 13. It would have been a second place just from that. That's how big every one of these shots. I have a teammate named Mike who's from South Carolina, and when Mike first joined Kings of Golf, I talked to him on the phone, and at that point the whole deal was that consistency, like you're tagging all these holes, but like just one drop shot in a round, or like one shot off the minimum score that you missed, that you were supposed to pick up. It doesn't matter all the rest of the holes that you did good on. You've got to get those minimum scores. You've got to, on those holes, you cannot, you're just killing yourself. I mean, it's a banner costing deal, every one of those. So it always gets me when people are playing the game and it's too hard, or hey, that's how this stuff goes. And it's all about maintaining consistency on these holes, and you just can't drop any. I mean, it costs you. Every single time I've been in a tournament and dropped something like that, I've been in this situation where you're in 4th. I have a bunch of fourths, and every one of those fourths was not my opponent's fault. There was something I did out there on the course where I made a mistake on one hole, and it cost you big time. All right, that was the Silicon Valley 9-hole cup. I like those. I like these holes. I like the Santa Ventura holes. Been playing it for a long time. This is a good tournament, and I will see you on the next one. Good luck, and everybody be safe and have a great Christmas.